Hello, I'm Father Angelos, and I'm the pastor at St. Kilian Church in Mission Viejo, California. We are honored to be part of this conference and to share our story of coping in this COVID world as we try to keep our parish community connected. In February, St. Kilian Church was a thriving community which was growing in faith and numbers. We had about 4,000 people attending masses each weekend. There was so much excitement, and the spirit of our community was vibrant. Of course, just when we thought everything was going great, the nation was hit with the coronavirus. Like most, we were caught unaware and unprepared. We had to shut the doors immediately. No more public celebration of the Mass or sacraments, which are the lifelines of our faithful. No ministries, no faith formation, no meetings. No one was physically present. But we had to find ways to reach them and continue to serve them so they would know that in their darkest hours, the church was there for them and with them.
Panic. That was the first reaction. What do we do? How do we communicate to the entire parish? What are we going to do about Mass? But what are you also going to do about the hundreds of pounds of fish, the 800 potatoes, the mountain of coleslaw that we're getting ready to serve people this Friday, coming up during Lent? Answer, we needed to adapt. We needed to get creative. We needed to improvise. I know your first question really is what happened with all the fish. We didn't have to throw it away. Together with some volunteers with their masks, we did about over 900 fish fry drive-through dinners that night. It was awesome. I mean, people loved it and saw that, we were still out there. We still cared. But it wound up being the last one that we had for that season. We happened to be in transition to a new website right when COVID hit. It became our top priority. It had to be reliable. We had to make sure it had up-to-date information because that's really the only place people could look. Without them being here, being able to ask questions, that was our source of information. We highlighted the link to sign up for emails, and we decided to start daily email messages. Father Angelos had just gotten back from India, so he had to be quarantined for a couple of weeks. Why not do daily messages? He could deliver them from his iPhone right from the rectory. His messages were on point. He spoke from the heart. He acknowledged people's frustration, their isolation, their concern, their worry. His words comforted them when the people continued to sign up for those daily messages because it meant so much to them. Even people not at our parish. Today we send out emails to over 3,000 people and get positive feedback all the time. But what about the sacraments? How are we going to do that? The prayers, the Mass.
We set up our own YouTube channel and started streaming Mass with our cell phones on a tripod right from the church. The quality of our videos was not the best, and we were either too loud, too quiet, or not always audible. We knew that if we were to keep our community together and their faith alive, we had to serve them better. So we installed 4K cameras inside the church, but we still had to do more because at that point, no one was allowed inside the church.
We began to think about what we could offer outside the church. We started daily adoration of the Blessed Sacrament in the parking lot with the Rosary and Divine Mercy. Even though we were just using a little karaoke machine as a speaker and posting to the Facebook Live, the response from the community was amazing. We prayed daily for our country, our world, and those affected by the coronavirus, and everyone who was in need of our prayers. It was just what the people needed at that time. We also figured out a way to hold confessions in a safe manner. We set up booths for the priests where cars can pull up and the driver would roll down his window and speak to the priest. We had long lines for quite a while because no other local churches were offering confessions.
So we're still trying to think of ways to expand our reach. We needed to make it more personal. So Father Angelos had us print out our list of 5,000 parishioners, their phone numbers, and staff and volunteers began to make phone calls. This gave us a chance to really check in on each person on an individual basis, see how they're holding up, see what they needed. What could we do to help? The biggest thing we noticed were people were just surprised that the Catholic Church was calling them at their house to see how they were doing. Sad but true, that they really hadn't felt that outreach before. It taught us a lot. It took quite a while to get through that long list of people, but it really made a positive impact.
From the beginning of the pandemic until today, our consistent message has been that the church is for you. Instead of asking our parishioners for their financial assistance, we asked them what we could do for them. This message has been so powerful. Amazingly, our parishioners have continued to be generous to the church.
We were still delivering most everything online, so Father Angelos and I decided to make a digital worship night series. This would be another way to reach out. Families could gather at the safety of their own homes, watch the online event, and encounter God in a different way. Using a few cantors and musicians, socially, safely distanced, we've released 7 episodes, one every month. The themes ranged from God's healing to God's gift. Each episode filled with music, a personal testimony, and a message from our pastor. People really enjoyed this new series. All these episodes, the testimony and Father's words spoke to their hearts, and the music brought it all together, making it really a unique, worthwhile effort. And it was something different. That's what we're going for, something different we could offer. By the way, they're all available to watch on our website and YouTube channel, so check them out now.
A few months into the pandemic, we were slowly getting to the realization that this situation was not as temporary as we had hoped it to be. So rather than wait for people to come inside the church for Mass, we needed to bring it outside to them in a safe way. How about a drive-in Mass? So just as Noah built the ark, we built a stage for our altar and rebuilt and refined it. We set up the stage and altar in a corner of the parking lot, cars parked facing the altar. At communion time, parishioners step out of their cars and we go to them. It's definitely a different way to celebrate Mass, but it fits in with our safety protocols.
Increase our faith, hope, and charity, and make us love.
Of course, we have had our share of weather interruptions. It was so windy one day. We should have added ankle weights to Father Tuan to keep him from blowing away. And of course, there were always technical problems, whether YouTube decides to take a nap right when we needed it, the camera falls off the stand, the batteries to the microphone fails. We just have to take it in stride.
During the initial part of the COVID, we had to delay sacraments a few months. Finally, we didn't want our parishioners to wait any longer. We caught up with all our sacraments on hold. RCIA initiation and youth confirmation were held outdoors in the parking lot. We had 10 First Holy Communion Masses. The little children had the added challenge of learning to remove their masks to receive our Lord for the first time. Baptisms, funerals, and weddings were held outdoors in our courtyard as well. With our new technology, we live stream many of the indoor events so parishioners can share them with their family and friends who cannot attend.
One thing that we learned over these last 8 months is that we need to constantly think of ways to connect with our parishioners. We haven't gotten to the point of saying, okay, we answered all the questions. We've fulfilled all the needs that they might have, because their needs were different in March than they are today in November. And they're going to continue to change too. We've been able to do socially distant events because people physically wanted to be here, whether it's a movie night where everyone was spread out with their masks, with food trucks. The youth, we started a sunset mass, which is now Mass Under the Stars because we changed the clocks. The youth love it. We have quite a turnout for that. We have a weekly drive-through outreach program where our volunteers fill up the cars with food. As far as spending time at home, our pastor started scripture with your pastor. Well, the parishioners are challenged to read a chapter of the Bible each day. Bottom line is we just need to keep trying new things constantly. For the most part, all the ideas have been really welcomed. People are appreciative. It hits on for one person, it works for something else, but we constantly need to keep reaching out in different ways.
Something I've learned during this pandemic while working at a church is that there's a lot of work to be done beyond the realm of the music ministry. Whether it's stuffing palms into 5,000 envelopes for Palm Sunday, updating the website, recording daily mass, or just answering the phones, there's always work to be done. And we need to share in all of these tasks, all of these responsibilities, if we are to continue to successfully meet all of our parishioners' needs. So what's next, you ask? We're preparing for Advent and Christmas, a COVID Advent and Christmas, and how to make it special despite our new restrictions. Normally, at this time of year, we would have a Christmas concert, but in 2020, we are creating a different experience. We're in the process of currently recording all the various sections of different pieces and putting it together. It's quite a challenge with significant commitment from Patrick, our videographer, today. We're really looking forward to seeing how it all comes together and the complete project. It includes not only people from our own music ministry, cantors, musicians, but from 6 other parishes as well. So perhaps it most likely will be a diocesan-wide show premiering on Friday, December 18th.
Now, our story may be similar to the COVID stories of many parishes. Certainly, with trying to provide creative but safe ways of offering Mass or finding ways to communicate to our parishioners. Now we are considering the upcoming holidays. What can we offer that really reaches into the hearts and souls of everyone so they truly can feel the beauty of this holy season? Well, we are writing personal notes to thousands of people so they know that we care about them. We are inviting safe-sized groups to enjoy our Christmas tree lighting. We are sharing a daily reflection during Advent. We are having a virtual Christmas concert, as Jeremiah, our music director, mentioned. And we are working on every detail to make Christmas Mass, whether in person or online, to be the most memorable one ever. We have learned that we need to continuously challenge ourselves with creating new and alternative ways to keep in touch and keep the faith of our people alive. This is our story at St. Kilian, but it's not about being a story of success. Ours is truly a story of love. This trial of COVID has helped us to exhibit the true beauty of our Catholic Church, that she is truly a mother who cares about her children, cares about the needs, the suffering, the pains of all her children. And everything we have done here at St. Kilian and continues to do is purely out of love for our people. And our hope is that our parishioners and everyone who comes across St. Kilian Parish are able to feel this love and know that they're experiencing God's love through our church. So this is not just being successful. As Mother Teresa once said, God doesn't call us to be successful, but He calls us to be faithful. And we want to remain faithful to the call God has given us. And all my staff, my parochial vicar, they've been an integral part of my team. And together, we continue to work for the greater glory of God and for each and every parishioner, every person who comes to this church. May God bless you all, and may we continue to work for God's glory. Thank you for watching us.